Leather is one of the oldest manufactured materials in human history, used for clothing, furniture, vehicles, footwear, and luxury goods for thousands of years. Yet modern leather production is far more complex and controlled than most people realize. What begins as a raw animal hide, highly perishable and biologically unstable, must be transformed through chemistry, mechanical processing, and strict quality control into a durable, flexible, and visually refined material that can last for decades. Behind every premium leather product lies a massive industrial process involving preservation, tanning science, precision splitting, controlled drying, finishing treatments, and environmental management. And today on the How Factory, we're going inside modern tanneries to see exactly how leather is made, from raw hide to finished premium material. The journey begins at slaughterhouses where hides are collected as a byproduct of the meat industry. Cattle hides are the most common source, though sheep, goats, and other animals are also used depending on the type of leather desired. Fresh hides begin decomposing almost immediately due to bacteria, so preservation must happen quickly. At the collection point, hides are trimmed to remove excess tissue and then preserved using salt or chilling. Salting draws out moisture and inhibits bacterial growth, allowing hides to be transported to tanneries without spoilage. Each hide is inspected and graded early because cuts, scars, insect bites, and branding marks will affect the final quality. When hides arrive at the tannery, the real transformation begins. The first phase is known as the beam house process, where raw hides are cleaned and prepared for tanning. Hides are soaked in large rotating drums, filled with water to remove salt, dirt, blood, and impurities. This rehydration returns the hide to its original softness after preservation. Soaking times and water chemistry are carefully controlled to avoid swelling or damage. After soaking, hides move to liming. In this stage, they are treated with a mixture of lime and alkaline chemicals. Liming loosens hair follicles, dissolves fats, and opens up the collagen fiber structure inside the hide. Large drums rotate slowly, ensuring even chemical penetration. This step is critical because it determines how well tanning agents will later bond with the hide. After liming, the hides are mechanically unhaired using scraping machines that remove hair cleanly. The removed hair is collected and often repurposed for agricultural or industrial use. Next comes fleshing, where excess fat and connective tissue are removed from the inner side of the hide. Specialized machines with rotating blades shave the surface, producing a uniform thickness. Precision here matters. Uneven thickness leads to inconsistent leather quality later. At this point, the hide is still not leather. It is simply cleaned and prepared animal skin. The hides then undergo deliming and baiting. Deliming gradually removes the alkaline chemicals introduced during liming, bringing the hide's pH closer to neutral. Baiting uses enzymes to soften the hide further and refine the fiber structure. This step improves flexibility and smoothness, especially for high-end leathers. Timing is critical. Too much baiting weakens the hide, too little leaves it stiff. Now comes the most defining stage, tanning. Tanning stabilizes the hide by permanently altering the collagen fibers so they no longer decay. There are several tanning methods, but chrome tanning is the most widely used for modern leather due to its speed, softness, and durability. In chrome tanning, hides are placed in rotating drums with chromium salts that penetrate deeply into the fiber structure. Chemical reactions bond the chromium to collagen, transforming the hide into leather. The hide changes color during this process, often becoming pale blue-gray, known as wet blue. Vegetable tanning is another important method, used mainly for premium and traditional leathers. Instead of chromium, vegetable tanning uses natural tannins extracted from tree bark, leaves, and roots. This process takes much longer, often weeks instead of hours, but produces firmer leather with rich color and aging characteristics. Vegetable tanned leather is commonly used for belts, saddlery, and luxury goods. Once tanned, the leather is stabilized but still far from finished. Excess tanning chemicals are removed and the leather is washed and pressed to remove water. It then enters the splitting stage. Large hides are passed through splitting machines that slice them horizontally into layers. The top layer, known as full grain or top grain leather, contains the natural surface and is the most valuable. Lower layers may be used for suede or bonded leather products. Thickness is adjusted precisely to meet product specifications. After splitting, leather undergoes retanning, dyeing, and fatliquoring. Retanning fine-tunes properties like firmness, stretch, and grain tightness. Dyeing introduces color, which penetrates deeply into the leather fibers, rather than sitting on the surface. Fatliquoring adds oils and fats back into the leather to restore flexibility and prevent brittleness. These processes occur in rotating drums where chemistry, temperature, and time are tightly controlled. Color consistency is critical, especially for automotive and luxury applications. Once dyed and treated, the leather must be dried carefully. Drying removes moisture without shrinking or warping the material. Various methods are used depending on leather type. Vacuum drying spreads the hide flat and removes water quickly under low pressure. Toggle drying stretches leather on frames to maintain size and shape. Air drying allows slow moisture removal for delicate leathers. Improper drying can permanently damage leather, so this stage receives close attention. After drying, leather enters mechanical finishing. Staking machines flex and soften the leather by mechanically kneading it, breaking internal stiffness and improving hand feel. Buffing machines may be used to create suede or nubuck surfaces by sanding the grain lightly. Ironing and plating machines smooth the surface and enhance grain definition. These mechanical processes help achieve the desired texture and appearance. Next comes surface finishing, where leather gains its final look and performance characteristics. Finishes may include pigments, protective coatings, waxes, or embossing. Spray booths or roller coaters apply finishes evenly, while drying tunnels cure each layer. Some leathers are embossed using heated plates to create uniform grain patterns or decorative textures. Finishing must balance aesthetics with performance. Too much coating makes leather feel artificial. Too little leaves it vulnerable to stains and wear. Quality control is constant throughout the tannery. Inspectors examine hides under bright lighting to identify defects. Leather is graded based on surface quality, color uniformity, thickness, and strength. High-grade leather is reserved for luxury products, while lower grades are used in applications where appearance is less critical. Tensile strength, tear resistance, and abrasion tests ensure leather meets industry standards. Environmental management is a major part of modern leather production. Tanneries generate wastewater, solid waste, and chemical residues that must be treated responsibly. Advanced treatment plants clean water before discharge or reuse. Chromium recovery systems capture and recycle tanning agents. Solid byproducts are reused in fertilizers, bioenergy, or other industries. Sustainable tanneries invest heavily in reducing environmental impact while maintaining product quality. Once approved, finished leather is trimmed, rolled, or cut into sheets for shipment. Each batch is labeled for traceability, allowing manufacturers to track leather back to specific production runs. Leather is then shipped to factories that produce shoes, furniture, car interiors, handbags, and garments. What makes leather manufacturing remarkable is how it transforms a fragile biological material into something durable and versatile. Raw hide would rot in days, yet properly made leather can last generations. Achieving that durability requires deep understanding of chemistry, biology, and mechanical processing, all applied at industrial scale. From salted hides arriving at a tannery to supple, finished leather ready for craftsmanship, the process is long, complex, and tightly controlled. Every stage affects softness, strength, appearance, and longevity. There are no shortcuts without sacrificing quality. And that is exactly how leather is cleaned, tanned, dyed, dried, finished, tested, and prepared, turning raw animal hides into premium material used across industries worldwide. Thanks for watching The How Factory, where we reveal how the world really works. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us again for more deep dives into the machines, chemistry, and factories behind everyday and luxury materials.